Now we are in our 8th unit, descriptive statistics and probability. Statistics is the subject that deals with data, the values, the numbers, the numerals that we face in our daily life. So, these are the measures of central tendency we have learnt. What is the measures of central tendency for the data? The measures of central tendency gives us the idea that how the scores are spaced randomly. In a class, we can collect the marks of all students. We can, for example, we can collect the max marks of all students. Few girls may get 10 marks, some may get 50 marks and some may get higher marks. But this measures of central tendency helps us to calculate the sparseness of data. Arithmetic mean, median, mode, geometric mean and harmonic mean are the few basic methods we use to calculate the central tendency, measures of central tendency. Arithmetic mean. Even in last year, we have learnt more about this. So, now we are going to recall the formulae alone. For ungrouped data, we can add all the numbers to find the mean of ungrouped data. We can add all the numbers and we can divide it with the number of items. Where x bar is the arithmetic mean, x1, x2, x3, etc. up to xn are the scores. So, x1 plus x2 plus x3 etc. up to xn divided by n. There are n scores, so we need to divide it by n, that is sigma x by n. Sometimes we can take an arbitrary value a as the origin and collect and calculate the arithmetic mean. What is the arbitrary value? That means a assumed mean. A is the assumed mean. I am assuming some value. I have given a few scores such as 10, 20, 30, 35, 40 like that. So, now I am assuming a value as the mean for the data. I take 30, some middle value. Okay. So, somebody may take 35. Okay. So, we can assume some value as the assumed mean and then we can calculate the arithmetic mean for the data. In that case, we should add the arithmetic mean, that is x bar is equal to a plus sigma d by n. D is x minus a. What is x? X is the number of values we have given and we have to subtract a with each and every element and then we have to find the sum of all d. Summation means total. Okay. So, total of. Now, let us recall how we will calculate the arithmetic mean of grouped data. Grouped data means, for example, we took max marks of a class. So, in that class, some girls may get 25 marks or few girls may take 49 marks. So, in that case, we can group them, those who have the same marks under one category. 25, the number of girls who got 25 is 5. Number of girls who got 33 as 7, like that we can group them. So, this is known as the group data. In group data, for each and every x, we will have an f. 10 பேர் ஒரு சேம் மார்க் வாங்கியிருந்தாங்க. ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் 22 மார்க் வந்து ஒரு 10 கேர்ள்ஸ் வாங்கியிருக்காங்கன்னா that 10 is the frequency of 22. Okay. So, here f is the frequency and x is the variable, x is the number, x is the score that is given. So, x bar is equal to sigma fx by n. Here we use capital N. Capital N is equal to sigma f, that is the total of all frequencies. Frequency column add pannadhu dhaan capital N. So, x bar is equal to sigma fx divided by n. For group data, this is the direct method. For group data also, we can assume a mean, that is an assumed mean, and we can calculate. So, in that case x bar is equal to a plus sigma fd divided by n. Here a is the assumed mean and d is the difference between x and a. So, x minus a is d and n is sigma f as usual. Arithmetic mean for continuous data case, sometimes the data it may be continuous, that means for 0 to 10 the answer is 5, for 10 to 20 the answer may be 9. எவ்வளோ மார்க்ஸ் எடுத்திருக்காங்க, 0 to 10 எவ்வளோ பேர் எடுத்திருக்காங்க, 10 to 20 எவ்வளோ பேர் எடுத்திருக்காங்க, 20 to 30 எவ்வளோ பேர் எடுத்திருக்காங்க. That kind of data is known as continuous data. So, for continuous data also the values, the data will come in intervals 0 to 10. அப்படின்னா 0லேருந்து 10 வரைக்கும், 50 to 60. Okay, these data, that numbers that is known as intervals. Okay, so x bar in direct method x bar is equal to sigma f m divided by n. Sigma f m divided by n, and m is the midpoint of the class interval. 0 to 10 அப்படின்னா அதோட midpoint. Sometimes 20 to 30 அப்படின்னா அதோட midpoint, that is m is the midpoint of the class interval, and f is the frequency and n is the total frequency, that is sum of all frequencies. Here for continuous data also we can find the arithmetic mean by assuming some mean. X bar is equal to a plus sigma fd divided by n. Here a is the assumed mean, f is the frequency and d is the m minus a, midpoint minus assumed mean, and n is the total frequency. Now, it is an important method, that is step deviation method. Step deviation method, it is also an important method. So, x bar, that is mean, arithmetic mean is equal to a plus sigma fd divided by n into c. C is the class interval, f is the frequency, n is the total frequency, and d is equal to m minus a divided by c. M is the midpoint of the class interval. And the other measures of central tendency that we use very frequently is mode. Mode is the value which repeats maximum number of times. The value that frequently occur is known as mode. Median is the middle value, exact middle value. And now we are going to learn more about some related positional measures. We know median divides the given data into two equal parts, the given series of data into two equal parts. Now, we have quartiles. Quartiles, that means usually we call 1 by 4 as quarters. Yes, it is dividing the whole stuff into 4 equal parts, that is 1 by 4. So, the quartiles, now here in positional measures, quartiles divides the given series of data into 4 equal parts. Deciles, decile means 10 parts. So, deciles divides the whole data into 10 equal parts. Similarly, percentiles. Percentiles, we know percent is 100. So, percentiles, here we can divide the given data, given series of data into 100 equal parts. Yes, quartiles. A measure which divides an array into 4 equal parts is known as quartiles. So, quartiles divides the array or the series into 4 equal parts. So, each portion contains equal number of items. Related positional measures. First, the quartile divides the whole series of data into 4 equal parts. So, if this is the series of data, then it divides, the quartile divides the data into 4 equal parts. So, it is Q1, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So, it is Q1, Q2, Q3 and Q4. Q2 divides the whole data into 2 equal parts. So, we can call Q2 as median also. So, here Q1 have 25% of the whole data below it and 75% of the whole data above that. Q2 have 50% of data below it and 50% of data above it. Q3 have 75% of data below it and 25% of data above it. This is quartiles. Similarly, we have deciles also. Deciles divides the whole stuff into 10 equal parts, that is D1, D2, D3, D4, D9 and D10. Here D1 have 10% of data below it and 90% of data above it. Okay. What about D5? D5 divides the whole data into 2 equal parts. So, D5 is also known as median as it divides the whole stuff into 2 equal parts. Okay. So, these are all deciles. Similarly, we have percentiles also. Percent, as we know, percent is 100. It divides the whole stuff into 100 equal parts. So, P50, the percentile, P1, P2, etc. up to P100 we have. So, P50 is the center point and P50 is also equal to median. So, Q2 is equal to D5 is equal to P50 for the given data and this 3 is equal to median. We can compute the positional measures such as quartiles, deciles and percentiles. So, for the ungrouped data, we have to arrange them in ascending or descending order and then we can apply the value. For Q1, Q1 is size of n plus 1 by 4th value. For Q3, it is size of 3 parts. Q1 வந்து 3 parts. Q3 is 3 parts. Q1 la 1 part irukum. So, Q3 is size of 3 into n plus 1 by 4th value. For D1, that is decile 1, size of n plus 1 divided by 10th value. Yen 10 ala divide pandrom because deciles divides it into 10 equal parts. Quartiles 4 equal parts ன்றதுனால Q1 க்கும் Q3 க்கும் divided by 4. Okay. So, D2 is size of 2 into n plus 1 by 10th value. Similarly, P60, that is percentile. For percentiles, we have to divide it with 100. So, size of 60 into n plus 1 by 100th value. So, P99 is size of 99 into n plus 1 divided by 100th value. So, as we know, Q2, that is quartile 2 is equal to D5 is equal to P50 is equal to median. Find D2 and D6 for the following series. So, ungrouped data, few numbers were given. As a whole, there are 11 data, 11 series of numbers. So, 11 observations. We have to arrange them in ascending order first. We have to calculate D2 and D6. So, D2 is size of 2 into n plus 1 by 10th value. N is 11. So, 11 plus 1 divided by 10. D2 is equal to 2 into n plus 1 by 10. So, 2 into n is 11. 11 plus 1 divided by 10. So, while simplifying this, I get 2.4. So, size of 2.4th value. When I am rounding 2.4, it is 2, size of second value. Second value is 4, second value 4. Similarly, D6 is size of 6 into n plus 1 by 10th value. N is 11, so 6 into 11 plus 1, that is 12 by 10th value. While simplifying this number, I get 7.2. 7.2, while rounding it, it is 7th value, size of 7th value. The 7th value is 14. So, 14 is the answer. Now, we are going to learn how we are going to calculate the deciles or percentiles or quartiles for discrete case, for grouped data. So, first we have to find the cumulative frequencies and then we can apply the formula, the same formula, but first we have to find the cumulative frequencies. Look at this example. Compute Q1, D2 and P90 from the following data. Marks and number of students were given. First we have to tabulate it. So, marks 10 and its frequency 4. Marks 20 it is 7, marks 30 it is 15. For 40 it is 8 and for 50 it is 7 and for 60 it is 2. We have to find the cumulative frequency. Cumulative frequency, how will you calculate? The first value should be written like that. So, if 4 is here, you have to write 4. What is the next value? It is 7. Now, you have to add this 2. 4 plus 7, 11. Now, you have to add 11 and 15. In the number add pannu. Here first 4 plus 7 and we get 11. Now, 11 plus 15, so we get 26. Now, 26 plus 8 and you get 34. So, 34 plus 7 and it is 41. 41 plus 2, it is 43. 43, okay. So, this is the cumulative frequency. How will you check whether you have found the correct cumulative frequencies? If you add all the frequencies, you should get this value. 4 plus 7, it is 11. 11 plus 15, it is 26. 26 plus 8, it is 34. 34 plus 7, 41. 41 plus 2, 43. So, while adding all the frequencies, you should get the same value. So, that is our capital N, total frequency. Okay. So, now we have to find Q1. Q1 is size of n plus 1 by 4th value, capital N. For ungrouped data, we use small n, but for grouped data, we should use capital N. So, capital N is 43. 43 plus 1 divided by 4. 43 plus 1 is 44. 44 divided by 4, you get 11. So, size of 11th value. Size of 11th value. 11th value is, here it is 11, you have to check in the cumulative frequency. So, it is 11, 11 is equal to 20, size of 11 is 20. So, Q1 is equal to 20. Now, D2 we have to find, size of 2 into n plus 1 by 10th value, that is size of 2 into n plus 1, n is 43. 2 into 43 plus 1, 44 divided by 10. So, it is 8.8 value, 88 divided by 10 you get, and it is 8.8, decimal number la varum. So, size of 8.8 value. We have to check the table again, 8.8. 8.8, while checking this column, 8.8, it is almost equal to 9, and approximately 9 comes between 4 and 11, but approximately it is somehow nearly lies by 11. 11 ki kitte irukradanaala again the value is 20. Now, P90 we have to find, size of 90 into n plus 1 divided by 100th value. So, capital N is 43, while simplifying we get 39.6. 39.6 means it is 40. So, where 40 lies? Here, while checking the cumulative frequency, the nearest number of 40 is 41. Okay, பக்கத்துல இருக்கிற number. Nearest number of 40 is 41 and the marks assigned for it is 50. So, the value, the size of 39 point, the size of P90 or P90 is equal to 50. 39.6 40 க்கு equal ஆ வர 50 க்கு equal ஆ வரதுனால it is 50. Now, for grouped data continuous case, we are going to find deciles, quartiles and percentiles. So, the formula for continuous case Q1 is equal to L plus N by 4 minus PCF divided by F into C. Here L is the lower limit, N is the total frequency, F is the frequency, PCF is cumulative frequency, the previous cumulative frequency. PCF is the previous cumulative frequency divided by F, again frequency, into C. C is the class interval. So, we have to use this formula to find the quartile Q1. If it is Q3, we can tell 3n by 4. Instead of n by 4, we have to write 3n by 4. Okay. Look, Q3 is equal to L plus 3n by 4 minus PCF divided by F into C. So, for deciles, for quartiles divided by 4 போட்டோம், for deciles it should be divided by 10. So, L plus 4n by 10, the same formula, but this is the only thing that differs for each formula. L plus 4n by 4, as it is D4, 4n by 4. D6 na 6n by 4 போடணும். Minus PCF divided by F into C. For P60, it is percentile, so divided by 100 இருக்கணும். As 60 is here, it is 60n divided by 100 minus PCF divided by F into C. Now, let us look at example. Compute upper quartiles, lower quartiles, D4 and P60, P75 from the following data. So, what is upper quartile and what is low? As we can understand it from the name, upper quartile is Q3 and lower quartile is Q1. Sometimes they may ask like this also. Upper quartile is Q3 and lower quartile is Q1. So, the class interval, and we have tabulated it, class interval and frequency. Now, it is time to calculate cumulative frequency. So, 12, the first value should be written as it is. Next 12 plus 19, it is 31. 31 plus 5, it is 36. 36 plus 10, it is 46. 46 plus 9, it is 55. 55 plus 6, it is 61. 61 plus 6, it is 67. And capital N is 67. That is, N is the total frequency. First, we can find the lower quartile, that is Q1. To find that, first we have to calculate the size of n by 4th value. This helps us to determine in which class interval Q1 lies. So, n is 67, 67 divided by 4, it is 16.75. Where that lies? 16.75. Here 12 we have. For the next, and in the next row we have 31. So, 16.75 lies in this interval 31, the interval, because 12 விட அது பெருசு. Okay. So, it lies in the next interval. In that interval, the range lies between 20 and 30. So, 20 is the lower limit and 30 is the upper limit. So, we take L as 20. 20 to 30 la irukkiradhanaala we take L as 20. And n by 4 is 16.75. We have calculated it here. PCF. PCF means previous cumulative frequency. We have selected the interval 20 to 30 and the previous cumulative frequency is 12. Cumulative frequency 12. We have selected this row So previous cumulative frequency is 12. அதனால 12 select பண்ணணும். Okay. And C is 10. What is C? Difference between 30 and 20. 30 minus 20, 10. So Q1 is equal to L plus N by 4 minus PCF divided by F into C. That is L is 20 plus N by 4 is 16.75. PCF is 12 divided by F is 19. F na enaduma and the class interval la ulla frequency. Okay, in that class interval 20 to 30 we have F as 19. So for F we have to select this. For previous cumulative frequency we have to select this. Lower limit should be like this 20. Okay. So N by 4 minus PCF divided by F la F is 19 into 10. That is, while simplifying this we get 22.5. Now it's time to calculate the upper quartile, that is Q3. So size of 3n divided by 4th value, 3n by 4, 3 into n is 67, 67 divided by 4, that is 50.25, where this value lies in the table. So 50.25 means we can select this 55. Okay. So the class interval is 50 to 60, that means the lower limit is 50 and F is 9, the frequency is 9 and the PCF, that is previous cumulative frequency, is 46. So we can substitute the values. So to calculate Q3 it is 50 plus 3 into n by 4, that is 50.25 minus 46 divided by 9 into 10 and that value is 54.72. First we have to subtract, then divide and then you can multiply. Finally you have to add this. Okay, theriyala modalla subtract pannanom, then you have to divide it with 9 and then you can multiply this value with 10, then finally you can add 50. Bidmas rule use pannanom. Okay. So D4, decile 4, that is L plus 4n by 10 minus PCF divided by 4. For this we need to find 4n by 4, 4n by 10. Okay. So 4n by 10 is 26.8. 26.8 lies in which interval? So 26.8 na adavoda higher idudha 31. So again 20 to 30. So L is 20, F is 19, PCF is 12. So we can substitute and calculate the decile D4. So D4 is equal to 20 plus 26.8 minus 12 divided by 19 into 10 and that is 27.79. Now percentile. Percentile P75 means we have to find 75n by 100 the value. So 50.25 and the class interval 50.25 irukkirathu 50 to 60. So L is 50 and the frequency is the value that is next to it and also previous cumulative frequency also we need to know and then we can substitute the values and we get P75. Till now we have recalled the measures of central tendency and also we learnt about quartiles, percentiles and deciles. To learn, even though this may be in the deleted portion, we should know this to simplify or to solve the problems which is in the next topic, and the next topic is measures of dispersion. Measures of dispersion. Dispersion means what? Dispersion means the scatteredness. Paravi kadakkirathu. Okay, paravi irukkirathu. So now in this topic we are going to learn about the dispersion measures of the given data. Here consider the three examples. The first series, three series of numbers were given here. In all the three series, 5 numbers are there. The number of observations are 5. and the mean value, if you calculate the mean value in all the 3 observations, the mean value is 9 only, but the 3 series are different with each other. So, in this case, if we consider the mean, it is same for all the 3 series, but the data, the observations are different. So, in this case, we will use this deviation methods to calculate the, we can classify the methods of to measure the dispersion into many categories. So, the first, in terms of the distance between the values, we can calculate the measures of dispersion. ஒவ்வொரு வேல்யூக்கும் நடுவில் உள்ள distance வச்சு calculate பண்ணுறது a type of measures of dispersion. Similar, and it is quartile deviation comes under that. We can classify the measures of dispersion under different categories. First, according to the distance between the scores, according to the distance between the observations, we can calculate the measures of dispersion. Range and interquartile or quartile deviation comes under this category, and the second one is the dispersion of observation, the dispersion measures according to the average of observations. Okay, observations or average calculate panni we can calculate, that is mean deviation and standard deviation comes under that. Quartile deviation. Quartile deviation is defined as half into Q3 minus Q1. So, first we have to calculate lower and upper quartiles, and then QD is equal to, that is quartile deviation is equal to half into Q3 minus Q1. Relative measures for quartile deviation, or coefficient of quartile deviation is equal to Q3 minus Q1 divided by Q3 plus Q1, and this is the coefficient of quartile deviation. 17th example, compute coefficient of quartile deviation from the following data. So, marks and number of students I have given here. First, we have to tabulate the values, marks, frequency and cumulative frequency, that we know how to calculate it, and then Q1 and Q3 we need to find the coefficient of quartile deviation. So, first Q1, that is size of n plus 1 by 4th value. So, size of 43 plus 1 by 4th value, that will be 44 by 4 and it is 7. Size of 11th value, size of 11th value is 20 here, isn't it? Look at this row. So, Q3 is equal to size of 3 into n plus 1 by 4th value, that is size of 33rd value, size of 33rd, and it comes by 34. So, its value is 40. Now, quartile deviation, that is half into Q3 minus Q1. So, half into Q3 is 40 and Q1 is 20. 40 minus 20, it is 20 by 2, that is equal to 10. So, coefficient, now quartile deviation we have found. Now, coefficient of quartile deviation, that is Q3 minus Q1 divided by Q3 plus Q1. This is the formula to calculate the coefficient of quartile deviation. So, 40 minus 20 divided by 40 plus 20, and we can calculate the value. That is 20 divided by 60, that is equal to 0.333. That is the coefficient of quartile deviation. 18th example, compute quartile deviation from the following data. Here continuous data is given. So, the same method that we have used to calculate Q1 and Q3, we can use here also. And now, so first let us tabulate it, the class interval, frequency, and we have to find cumulative frequency. After calculating that, First Q1. Q1 is size of n by 4th value. பார்த்தோம்லமா இது எந்த இன்டர்வல்ல வருது கிளாஸ் இன்டர்வல்ல அப்படின்னு சொல்லி நம்ம கால்குலேட் பண்ண first we have to fix it. So size of n by 4th value, that is 67 divided by 4th value, that is 60.75 value. So 16.75 எங்க வரும் in 31. Okay, it's greater than 12, so 20 to 30 la in the interval la varum. So as we have found the class interval, we can fix n by 4 and PCF, F and C as we do in the previous case, and then we can find Q1. C another, C is the difference between class interval 20 to 30 is 10. C is 10. So we can find the value of Q1. Next Q3, that is size of 3n by 4th value. So 3 into n by 4, that we have to find, and it is 50.25. So 50.25 comes in this row, that is 50 to 60 class interval row. So L is 50 and PCF, F and C. C is 10, and now we can find Q3 also. After finding Q1 and Q3, we can find quartile deviation and coefficient of quartile deviation. Q3 minus Q1, that is 54.72 minus 22.5 divided by 2, that is equal to 16.11. Quartile deviation is 16.11. If they ask coefficient of quartile deviation or relative measures for quartile deviation, we can calculate that also, and the formula for that is Q3 minus Q1 divided by Q3 plus Q1.